Good morning. I'm Tom Conkle, a cybersecurity engineer with Optic Cyber Solutions. Optic Cyber Solutions is a registered practitioner organization, or an RPO, within the CMMC ecosystem. As such, we help organizations get ready and prepare for CMMC assessments and improve their cybersecurity program. So today I wanted to continue our conversation on the maturity level 1 practices within CMMC. We're going to specifically talk about authentication. So I have Paul Thompson joining us again. So welcome, Paul.
Thanks, Tom. Good to be here.
So today, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about the authentication practice. This practice specifically states that we authenticate or verify the identities of users, processes, or devices as a prerequisite to allowing access to organizational information systems. So, as always, Paul, why don't you help? Can you help us understand what does this practice mean?
This practice is really about making sure people, processes, or devices are who they say they are, right? And those methods of ensuring that, right? Most commonly is username and password combinations, right? So unique usernames linked with hard to guess or unique passwords. To make sure that when somebody or someone or something is accessing your systems, that they are who they say they are, and can be challenged to provide the information that says that they are.
Excellent. So I guess with that then, as you're working with organizations and helping them implement this practice, what are some of the things that you keep in mind or help them to think through as they're rolling it out?
Right. I mean, it's about, again, just making sure there's, again, strong passwords and unique identifiers, whether devices, having, MAC addresses or certificate, linked with certificates to make sure that you can identify distinct devices that need to access organizational resources. But really just, making sure that, those people, processes, or devices are identified in the first place, but then also having that challenge to make sure that they can be verified as well, authenticated.
Right. So no shared accounts, making sure that we know who the person is that's accessing it, when they're accessing it, or we have other compensating controls if the system can't support shared control or unique passwords for a specific implementation. And as you mentioned, another way was with certificates, right? So linking the certificate to a MAC address or something, so that we know that device is the device that is responsible for accessing it, is the one that's allowed to access the network when it's coming in. Then with that, are there any other considerations or things that we should keep in mind for this practice?
Again, it's just important to make sure that those identifiers, those authenticators, they're unique, complex, and that it's well documented on what the requirements are for those, for people, the processes, or the devices that are required to use those authenticators, and to make sure that the systems are in place to easily authenticate folks that need to be authenticated, that there's no real hurdles in the way, because you want the process to be as easy as possible, so that it's quick and painless to identify and authenticate those folks or devices.
Excellent. Well, with that, thank you, Paul. I appreciate you for joining us today. I'm happy to answer any additional questions that you have, or if you have any challenges with the implementation, feel free to reach out at info@opticcyber.com or at the links below. Thanks for joining me today as we walk through the CMMC Maturity Level 1 practices. As always, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions or you'd like assistance in implementing the CMMC practices. We'd love to help you in your CMMC journey. So feel free to reach at info@opticcyber.com, and thanks for watching.